Phantasma. Okay, now it's time. Let's get this started. Continue. There we go. Oh yes, let me go ahead and try to tweak that as well, Phantasma. Thank you for the reminder. It's funny that you grade papers while I'm playing. I always wonder if what we're doing in the stream ever affects your students' grades. Okay, so let's go to settings real quick. And under video, field of view. So we're at 90 degrees right now. Let's try changing this to 100. You don't want it like too crazy because it can actually like mess with how the game looks like on the sides. Like it gets stretched and bizarre sometimes. So let's try this and see how this looks. Hopefully that will make it a little bit less sickening for you.
Welcome.
So where did we leave off? That's right, we just got out of that place with the woman who was ripping the gold off of people's flesh to expose the person still underneath there, but they weren't the same people anymore. They had kind of turned into monstrous zombies.
Feeling all right?
Let's see here. That's right. And when we talked to that woman who was ripping the gold off of people, she helped us figure out how to treat this disease we need to help somebody with. Rheumatism?
You made it into the palace. I'm impressed. How is Nevia?
We only have one option here. She's alive, but she just wants to be left alone. And the treatment is willow bark.
Willowback. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. That's very helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle Rufius down some. I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this?
Sure.
You just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster.
Because this guy was kind of angry all the time when we tried talking to him. So good that we got some medicine for him. Always love rotating these things, checking out the graphics. Oh, that's right, Ellaby. The woman that we got the hint from could also hear the same whispers that we do from all the people encased in gold. All right, I can do that.
Thank you. I'm really glad you arrived when you did.
Ah, serotonin stream. I love that. We talk about Yulia? I forget who that is.
Sure. What do you want to know?
Oh, that was the person that she was trying to help. Okay. Do you think she was poisoned or was it self-inflicted?
Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule. And so maybe it's best we don't discuss it.
Katamari, you gotta enjoy those graphics. They sure cost you enough. All the frames. So maybe it wasn't maliciously poisoned, because that would have been a sin and everybody would have gotten killed.
Gladly.
Okay, I think we're done chatting with her for now.
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
So let's try to find that Rufio guy? Rufio, whatever his name is, and Rufus, is that it? Rufius, there we go. Luckily, he's already our main quest marker, so let's go find him and deliver him the pain medication. You know, Phantasma, I swear every person we talk to has a different accent. It's very interesting. I don't know if any of them are actually Roman accents. You know, I thought we have a flashlight, but I'm trying to remember how to break it out. Oh, that's right. It's the mouse wheel. Let's say wherever this guy is, it's kind of dark. Oh yeah, and they all think they're speaking Latin, but to us it just sounds like English. And they think that we speak Latin. You know, sometimes when I'm watching a movie and it should be in some foreign language, but it's not, sometimes it bugs me a little bit, but usually because of the convenience, I just fall right into it. Where is this guy? I think he's down here. Can I make that jump, or am I going to hurt myself? Let's try this out. Oh, gosh. Okay, good.
Galerius? Horatius? Looking a bit troubled there.
The 49 melodies fetch again with incessant labor. The water they have lost.
From what I hear,
She's crazy. She's talking to herself.
Anyway, I thought you
We're kind of
stoics
like a
weren't
TARDIS.
supposed to
That's a good
worry
way of
about
putting it.
things you can't control.
Yeah, but I keep thinking,
Oh, you know
what
what?
if there is something I can do? What if she's out there somewhere suffering, waiting to be found?
Sounds like you're torturing yourself. Leave that for the gods. Try to relax. Get
You
some
just
rest.
growl at me?
Tomorrow's a new day.
The hell was that?
I suppose you're right.
I'm just waiting for my turn to talk. How rude.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
Oh, he doesn't know us because time reset and he doesn't recognize us. That's right. Because we're meeting everybody like the first time every time we start a loop, essentially. And Ellaby, what if it isn't Rome and it's a different place where accents are just there for decoration? It could be. You never know. Oh, Alex, speaking of Doctor Who, there's a bundle on Fanatical right now I was thinking about getting, and one of the games you can pick from is a Doctor Who VR game. Have you heard anything about it? Is it something that you've tried out? I know you're a big Doctor Who fan. Or has anybody checked it out yet? And Phantasma, hear me out. It's not Rome. It's modern day, and all these people are people who have been sucked into this ruin by Karen. That's right. It was a Karen that tricked us to get in here. I forgot about that. Okay, let's check out the rheumatism.
What business is that of yours?
I figured out a treatment. Eat a pinch of this willow bark, and you should feel better in no time.
Willow bark. And this will work? Oh, thank God. Finally, some relief.
Nice.
This is what I've been praying for. Maybe God hasn't abandoned me after all. Thank you. I've been in a lot of pain lately. The rheumatism, these cursed statues always watching, and the crisis of faith. It was too much. Started messing with my head. This is exactly what I needed to set it straight again.
I like your guys' theory about maybe them being from all over the place because of all the different accents. That's really weird. And now that he's not super angry, let's say, do you know of a way out of here?
No, I don't. I did hear a rumor that Aurelia, the tavern keeper, has been offering to sell a way out. But I barely have two sesterci to rub together.
You've been getting into a World War II sub-game, Hasifa? That sounds pretty cool. Is that a new game? And Jumi, you had a plot click moment, and eventually it'll get all of you. Oh, did you just figure something out, Jumi? We're waiting for it. Let's see if I ever get the plot click moment. What do you think about the golden rule?
I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival depends on the common sense of other people.
Yeah, that sucks. Kind of like when you're driving. Wait, what? Did they put this in here just because of COVID? I know the feeling. I've lived through a pandemic. I have to say that. Come on.
Then you know what I'm talking about. I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong. While we're one bad decision away from being wiped out. Like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. And when it hits, it's everyone for themselves. You've been warned.
That makes sense, Alex. Yeah, I mean, I'm not very well versed in Doctor Who, so it'd probably all be over my head, but still, something to think about. So what do you think is coming?
I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking?
100%.
Like they're waiting for something. I don't like it.
Well, I mean, they're all kind of waiting for us to screw up, and then they all come to life and start killing everybody.
That doesn't help me.
I said, yeah, I think you're right. Let's see. And you know what they used to do with plagues back then? If they caught it in time, they would block off the city, village, and then kill everyone in it and light on fire. Very elegant system. Effective, right, Phantasma? Because they didn't have much else to fight it, I guess. So who are you going to vote for? Rufius?
Malleolus. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to protect us?
Man, nobody's going to vote for Sentius. I thought Sentius was pretty cool. Anything I could do to change that?
No.
I just gave you life-saving medicine. Remember, you owed us one.
Who do you want me to vote for?
Sentius.
Fine. I'll vote for Sentius. But no more favors.
Is that going to be how we're doing this? We kind of help people out with something really important and then convince them to vote for Sentius?
See you around.
We don't have to convince everybody, just at least half of the people here, right? Cool. All right, I think we're done with him. Before we jump on to another quest, let's just chat with these people.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
So Sentius is kind of like the leader of this place currently. I think they call him the Magistrate, and he is currently in charge, but they're about to have an election, and it seems like this other guy, Malleus, is kind of strong-arming everybody to voting for him. So it seems like Sentius is going to lose, but he seems like a good guy. One of his daughters disappeared, though, ran away, and we don't know if she got out of here or where she is. So we're also kind of looking for her as well. Ancient Rome has Amazon? Is this the Jeff Bezos of this game? Let's just tell him the truth. I'm reliving the same day over and over again.
You're toying with me, right?
Nope.
Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known.
Mm-hmm.
You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus.
Sisyphus. He also traveled through time. So this guy, when we first came back into this town after our first round, we gave him medicine to quickly rush to somebody else who needed it to, be saved from being poisoned. That's what he was talking about. Remind me who that is again?
Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill.
Oh,
Only,
I know that one.
just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again for all eternity. Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were. Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me.
Apparently.
So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
So I imagine when we have more of these things to do, we're just going to give him a bunch of items and be like, go do all this crap while we go do the new thing every time. Yeah, I was going to say that, Ellaby. We upset the god of Karen, essentially. And Brax, how's it going, Brax? See you, dude. How was your weekend? Sounds like he should have just sat his butt down and refused to push the damn. I don't think that's an option when you're talking to a god, huh? Okay. I'll say you're a good man, Galerius.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
I'll be so upset if he turns out to be the sinner. Don't even bring that kind of badness here.
Free drink at my tavern.
Oh, see, this is part of what they're doing. Free drinks to vote for Malleolus.
Oh, you're here.
Fortune smile on
I'm
you, brother.
so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before, a certain learning and sophistication.
He's going to town. on that cup. I think it's clean, lady. You can put it down. I think I caught her in some animation and she just can't stop. She's going to do this until the end of time if we just keep talking to her. I like this. Oh, stop it. No, please, go on. Which one of these do you guys think I should say? Let's let you guys vote. Do you want to do number 1, number 2, or not interested, number 3? I don't know who this person is. I don't know anything about her besides her showering us with compliments. And Jumi, personally, you blame Al? Al's hung himself. We found Al. He's actually just outside the portal, dead. We got 1 vote for 2, 1 vote for 3, 1 vote for 1. We have a 3-way tie. We just need 1 more. Oh no, we have a 2-way tie. Okay, we need 1 more for 2 or 1 more for 1. What the hell are you doing with that brush, Aurelia? And do you ever think you're going to turn famous on Twitch and turn into a full-time job? Ellaby, not a chance. Not a chance. Like, thinking about it realistically, if I lived in a different place in the country and I was like living at home with my parents, absolutely you could put enough time in this to make it your job. But I am 40 years old. I got a lot of bills. I got a lot of stuff going on. It would be very difficult for me to turn something like Twitch into a full-time job to handle my finances right now. So for me, it is totally just for fun, which is nice because I get to play games like this. If I was doing this full-time, I would not play games like this. I'd be playing Fortnite, I'd be playing Call of Duty, I'd be playing whatever the newest big game is all the time, because you got to get those views up. You don't want to be playing interesting niche games that would not sell. It would not make you money. Okay, so it looks like we had more votes for number 2. So, oh, stop it. No, please, go on.
What was that? Some kind of joke?
Oh!
If it was, it wasn't funny. I take back what I said. Suddenly, I don't find you so intriguing anymore. Let's just forget that ever happened, so we can at least do business. So, what brings you to my tavern?
I thought it was kind of funny. I don't know. Maybe I have a poor sense of humor, but I didn't have that much of an issue with that option. I thought they were both kind of like cute and similar, I guess. Sheely, I ruined it just like in real life. I don't know. I thought that was a pretty good line, honestly. Okay, what's your story, lady?
Ugh, let it go. Nothing's going to happen between us.
Do we have to sleep together for you to talk to me? Come on. Do you know of a way out of here?
You know, normally, I'd expect you to buy me a drink before asking if I want to get out of here.
I was asking about a escape from the city.
I guess that went right over your head. Never mind. As a matter of fact, I do know a way out. I'm happy to tell you all about it, but this is valuable information we're talking about, and I don't just give it out like some cheap oracle. So, how badly do you want it? Is it worth, say, 1,000 denarii?
1,000? I don't know how much we have, but it's nowhere near that much. Although we might have a few hundred already, now that I think about it. It looks like she's doing something bad. I can see that, Phantasma. Trying to make this stream adults only. And Ellaby, you like how I am right now? You're more interactive with the viewers, and almost all of your viewers are loyal. Just everybody here right now, I have seen many, many times before, Ellaby. Yes, we have such a wonderful community here, and everybody's very friendly and nice and welcoming. So that's amazing. You guys are awesome. Thank you. And Krem, we're mad loyal. I only watch John. If somebody else pops up, immediately block and move on to the next one. No, don't do that. But I appreciate you guys always hanging out and showing up and spending time with me. And puts away the backstabbing knife. Tiny. Yes, loyal. Yes, indeed. Maybe she's the sinner if you play your cards right. I mean, lust is a sin. If we're talking about like the 7 deadly sins, right? So that could be a problem. I don't know. And you really only watch me and you're serious? Aw, Phantasma, I really appreciate that. Could be a free time thing, though. I mean, maybe, who knows, if you had more free time, you would jump on different days and be able to watch other people as well. But I appreciate you hanging out here, of course. We could offer an NFT. Oh, that'd be silly. Tell me more about what I'd be buying. Has anybody here purchased an NFT? Please tell me you haven't.
Well, I can't tell you too much, or you'd figure it out for yourself. But I promise you, You'll never have to spend another hour in this city ever again.
That could mean that she's gonna kill us. I don't know what that actually means. MB, absolutely not. You think NFTs are dumb? Here's a picture of a gorilla. I love that. I mean, NFT, it's a scam. It's a scam right now. There could potentially be some like useful things you could do with NFTs in a potential future, but everything they're doing with them right now is just a scam to take money from people that don't know any better, unfortunately. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Why buy an NFT when you can right click and save as? And what's funny is the people that buy NFTs, they don't actually even own the image. There's a really good video I linked on our Discord, I think under tech or something, but it explains what NFTs actually are. And if you want an analogy, imagine like a museum with a picture. Oh, there's a lot of talking. What's going on? You can't buy the picture on the wall, but you can buy the spot right in front of it to stand. That's all you can do is you own that spot. You can stand in front of there and say, this is my spot. But you don't actually own the picture. You can do nothing with it. You can't sell the picture to somebody. You can sell your spot to stand, but you can't do anything else with that picture. It's silly. It's like you're buying a receipt, essentially. Okay, if you have a way out, why haven't you used yourself? That's a good question.
Simple. It's a one-way trip, and I'm not ready to go just yet. I like my life here. One day, maybe, but not now.
Alex, I see what you're doing. Okay, isn't it kind of unethical to keep all these people trapped in here knowing there's a way out?
I think of it this way. I have something of value, and I'm willing to share it for a price. That's not unethical. That's just good business. Now, do you want it or not?
I think it's going to be a trap. How do I know this isn't a scam?
If I took your money without giving you what I promised, I'd be breaking the golden rule, wouldn't I? And I have no interest in doing that.
See, that's a load of BS, because we found that depending on how you word things, you can scam and trap and hurt people because you found a loophole. You know, as long as you don't say exactly what you mean and you can trick people into doing things, that seems like a sin, but it's really not, because that's not what you said. It's really tricky. Yeah, she's having a great time, Kreb.
What's the matter? Can't afford it? Well, perhaps you could take out a loan. I understand Malleolus has lent money to others on occasion.
I mean, we could borrow money from him and then keep it, because the next day he won't remember, right? Yeah, 100% Ellaby. So, what do you think of the golden rule? I think she likes it.
I just try not to think about it. Drink helps with that. As the saying goes, to drink is human, so we drink.
And any interesting gossip? I don't think she's going to talk to us. She doesn't like us.
Certainly. For 10 denarii.
Only 10? That's a deal. Grr.
Have you met Livia? She used to do my hair until one day she just snapped. This place has that effect on people. Now she just stands around caked in filth, muttering nonsense to herself. It's a real shame. Now I have to do my own hair.
So that lady in front of the fire that was mumbling, she used to be like a hairdresser. Let's give her another 10. Let's see what else she knows. It gives us quests and stuff too.
I hear that if Malleolus is elected, he's gonna throw a small festival to celebrate, with entertainment and everything. Can't wait to find out what it is.
That wasn't worth it. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you like.
Okay, we're done here.
All right. See ya.
I don't know if you keep your money, Twill. I've never actually spent money in this game before. How much do we have? We have inventory 632. We're actually not too far off from the 1,000 that she wants. That's not too bad. A large vat for brewing beer. I love beer. There's a layer of small insects drowning on the surface.
Isn't that a big long bow?
Don't you remember you just like rejected me? She's already going right back to that. How much is that in Cole's cash? Whoa, there's the bow. I was looking for my flashlight. Here we go. Let's see if they're hiding anything up here.
You stay away from my money.
Whoa. Am I stealing something by going up here? I didn't take anything. I was just like exploring. Before we go up there, let me go ahead and save it. I'm a little scared I'm gonna like break the game. Could be some cool clue or something in here. Ah, key to the chest, huh? You can take it, but it's stealing, so I'm going to leave it for now. Although we did steal that one thing before, and it worked out in our favor. Because of the resetting timeline, you know? So yeah, there might be something in there we want to check out later, but we don't have to do it right now.
Well, unless you want me to slip some hemlock into your next drink, get out.
Jeez. Okay, I'm gone.
The many shall suffer
Who
for the sins of the one.
Who sinned? Who sinned? I don't know. How do I get out of here? This way. Okay. We gotta go. We gotta go. I think everything's on a timer. Sentius looks busy. Yeah, me too. What are you doing? Okay. Let's get out of here. Oh my gosh. So I think if we sin, obviously everything resets. I have to add one to the timer. Or the counter. There we go. But I think we're also on a loop of... Or we have a time limit before it automatically happens anyway. Yeah, is threatening to poison me a sin? She did seem really pissed off, but I didn't actually steal anything. I was just exploring. I don't know if I actually sinned or not. Conspiracy to murder? She was pretty rude. She was really rude. Okay, so let's talk to him. We have to give him a few
Salve,
tasks.
friend. Mind telling me who you are and
That was
what
wild.
you're doing with that bow on your back?
I assume you could crem and then just make it there in time to reset everything. Okay, so let's say we need you to take care of some things urgently.
Oh, sounds serious. I'm listening.
This guy's cool. So we already did the Lucius dying. What about the Rufius? Let's give him that one as well.
Oh, poor guy. My uncle was a victim at rheumatism's altar, and he ended up killing himself. All right, got it.
And I need you to help out Julia, who's dying.
Yulia? Oh no. All right, I can do that.
Eventually, when we start this, we're going to give this guy like 20 tasks. And stop Fabia from entering the empty shrine.
All right, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood.
Essentially, we discover how to solve puzzles and then make this poor guy do it every single time. he's a wonderful errand boy, Krem. I like this guy.
I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
And I really wish he would remember, because this guy's so cool. Let's go ahead and take our shortcut. There we go. That's a good way of putting it, Katamar. He's essentially our speedrunner, isn't he? Okay, so now that we did that, which quest should we start tackling? We have 5 leads, 2 main quests. We have to figure out who's most likely to break the golden rule. I don't know right now who that would be. We have a bunch of optional... Basically, everybody that we meet, we can rat out on once we discover who it is. What's this? Democracy in action. It's election day, and Malleolus is hoping to out Sentius as magistrate. So we have to figure out how to make Malleolus drop out of the election. We have to find some dirt on him, which we don't have yet. What's water under the bridge? Need to get up to the upper cistern. Okay. And the sinner. Virgil has been... Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Virgil has been receiving threatening notes. Remember, because he's homosexual, the people around here were like writing him terrible notes and telling him he's a sinner because of how he is. So let's go ahead and help out Virgil. Virgil was really cool. So find out how to stop the harassment, figure out who's threatening him, and optional, ask the merchants in the forum for clues about the secret admirer. I don't know where the forum is, but that might be the best place to start, especially because it's optional. Yeah, well, he just takes off. Sonic the Hedgehog style. Oh, it's so sad hearing these people talk. I forgot to mark that. There we go. Now it's our main quest. Let's go this way. Gotta go fast. Are you guys excited for that new Sonic game? It looks kind of like more open world kind of thing. The graphics look nice from what I saw. I don't know what the general consensus of the game is.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land. Greetings, I'm Georgius.
He's so jolly.
It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I.
Oh my goodness. Forsaken Kraken! How's it going, dude? 4 months you have been subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much for those subscriptions. I really appreciate it, dude. How are you doing, Forsaken? How was your weekend? What is new? What have you been up to? Thank you again so much, dude. We're making some good progress in this game. I already reset everything again. It didn't take me long. Okay. I love how we reply like we've talked to him before, because we have, but he has no idea. I know. You want to know where I'm from, but I really want to ask you some questions. We get to, like, speed up the process.
My friend, your words intrigue me more and more. But yes, very well. Ask me what you do.
What's that? Oh, that was the thing collapsing on the guy. Remember that big, like, tower that we had the guy, the empty shrine? I was like, what is that? That shocked me. Okay, here's what I wanted to ask this guy. Any idea who's threatening Virgil?
This is troubling, is it not? I'm afraid I have no idea. It is ridiculous, though. Virgil is a fine man.
That's right.
But my young friend Fabia confided in me that she saw someone leaving graffiti on his shop front last night. Perhaps you should ask her about it.
Okay, we have to find out Fabia. Okay. And Sashima. I can't help but feel like I'm forgetting something. The introduction, Sashima. The little short story about John Katie. How are you doing, dude? Welcome. I was like, who's playing with bricks? It sounded like it was falling on top of me. It was like really loud.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
He could care less, Katamari, that the whole thing was falling. He's just smiling all jolly at me. Okay, so there's Virgil. He's the guy getting harassed. He's actually trying to clean it up right now. So let's find this Fabia.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
We screwed this. Well, he tried to screw us. And then we got the golden bow, actually. He doesn't know about it. Is this Fabia? Yes.
Shiny.
What, me? What are you talking about?
Salve and welcome. Need something?
We should, Krem, except I know it's going to reset it right away. So what's your story?
Oh, there's not much to tell. I mostly just bake bread and try to help out where I can.
I like that, Twill. Just another shrine falling to pieces. Happens every day. Well, I guess it literally does happen every day, doesn't it? How did you end up here?
I suppose it all started about 8 months ago. I was living in Rome with my family when I got sick. Terrible timing. My pa had just arranged a husband for me, a fisherman's son. I was about to meet him for the first time when I came down with an awful fever. I spent the next week in bed. Pa paid priests to make offerings to Asclepius, a white rooster, then a goat. But nothing worked. In the end, they decided I'd do better outside the city. Clean air in the countryside would do me good, they said.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
After about a day in a carriage on the Appian Way, I was getting worse, not better. I remember closing my eyes for a bit, and I guess I must have fell asleep, because when I opened them again, I was in a forest by a river. I suppose the driver took off with his fee and left me for dead. Can't say I blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to catch what I had either. Anyway, I went searching for help, stumbled across the Trapdoor Temple, and here I am.
As we all have. Yes, and Sashima, so the counter is how many times we've had to reset this loop, trying to figure everything out. So we're on our 3rd playthrough, essentially, so far. Sashima, as you journey down the streets of this ill-fated place, you question where exactly you're going. Turning back, You can't tell from whence you came. Now trapped in the city square, as all look upon you, reality dawns on what little mind you have left. You're lost in the world of Juncadia. Thank you for that, Sashima. It's been a while. It might be Phantasma. I feel like she looks similar, but is her accent different or her voice is different? I'm not sure. Oh, this is interesting. As we're getting more stories, we have more insight. We can say that's odd. Most of the others were in Rome before they woke up in the forest, but you're saying you were a day's ride away.
Oh, yeah. I suppose you're right. Hadn't really thought about it. But the gods are mysterious and powerful. Who knows what their plans are for us?
Sashima, are you talking about what I think you're talking about? Shadow of Destiny or Shadow of Memories, depending on where you're from in the world? Do you know of a way out of here?
What? You've been here a few moments and you're desperate to get out already? Why not give the place a chance before you try to leave? Good people here. Galerius works hard on the farm so I can put food on our tables, and Lucretia tries to keep us healthy. My friend Georgius is always mending our clothes, and Virgil makes sure these old walls don't fall down around us. Well, he does his best. I'm just saying, there are worse places you could live out your days.
Yeah, I liked the idea and the mechanics of that 12 minutes game, Phantasma, but it got crazy at the end. So, Ellaby, you're thinking Karen was the sinner, but she escaped and blamed it on somebody with a loophole so that she escaped without being turned to gold. Oh, interesting idea. But then would we actually find Karen here? Because Karen, the other guy, Al, isn't here. He's actually dead outside of the loop. Let's just say I don't belong here.
Well, I can tell from your funny accent you're not from around here, but
Jimmy.
that doesn't mean you don't belong, does it?
Yeah, because nobody has the same accent here. I love that, Jimmy. I'm on Team Karen. What do you think of the golden rule?
Oh, I try not to worry about it. I mean, if people are nice to each other, we won't have anything to worry about, will we?
Oh, I've heard of that game, Sashima. I've never played that one, though. It's kind of an RPG, and you're trying to figure out what's going on and stop it. That's pretty cool. So, Katamari, Karen, when we first started this game, we woke up kind of like on a river next to a boat, and there was some woman across from us, and she had said that she just pulled us out of the river, and we had like no memory of anything. And she told me her name was Karen, and that she had a friend, Al, who had gone into these ruins and didn't come out, and she asked us to go find him. So we go into the ruins looking for Al, and we immediately fall through a trapdoor. And then after that, as we're exploring a little bit, we find Al. He has hung himself, and he had a note saying, "Don't go into this portal into this world." So what do? We go into the portal because there's no way back out the other way. Okay, let's say, have you met people?
You're funny. I bet my friend Georgius will like you. And those interesting clothes of yours. And I'm sure he'd love to chatter about the golden rule with you too.
He's pretty
He'll
jolly.
be just across the forum in his shop.
We streamed 12 minutes like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, something like that. It'll be not too long ago, actually. And do you know who's threatening Virgil? We heard you did.
Terrible shame, that is. Maybe this will help. Late last night, I was cleaning my oven when I heard some noises outside. The forum's usually dead quiet at that hour, so I came out to see what was going on. To be honest, I thought maybe poor old Dooley had got out of his cell and was snooping around again. So I put my head out and saw someone in front of Virgil's shop. I couldn't tell who. It was too dark. I called out to them, but they just turned and ran off without a word. All I remember is they ran past a lit torch, and the light glinted off something metallic. Armour, I think. So I suppose it could only be one of 3 people. Horatius, Domitius, or Rufius. I hope that helps.
At least it does help a little bit. We talked to Rufius a lot. Rufius actually owes us one. Yeah, Phantasma. Or you, Fabia. So, I mean, as far as we know, Al is dead. But, of course, with time travel and stuff, there could be some weird trick where he's not dead, some kind of twist. But we saw his corpse outside the time loop. We'll say, thanks, that does help. Gives us something. We'll be going now.
All right. Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
Taking care of your problem. You mean the time loop? You being stuck here? Okay, so we have 3 markers on the map. And one of them is right here. So let's talk to this guy. Oh, this is our Rufius. Let's see what he has to say.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
Unfortunately, he's not our buddy anymore because we haven't given him the medicine. Are you the one threatening Virgil?
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you can bluff. Or just say, yeah, fair enough. I don't know. I didn't get the idea that he was lying right then. Think we should bluff? You know, he's in a lot of pain, though. He's, like, angry all the time, but I don't know. From talking to him, I didn't get any kind of idea that he was that kind of jerk, you know? He was just in pain and, like, very easy to anger, I guess. I think I'm going to say fair enough for this guy.
See you around.
We can come back to him if the other ones don't seem like it either, but let's try some of the other guys.
Isn't the great temple majestic?
I don't think I've talked to her.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Might as well talk to everybody. Everybody's got something interesting. The characters in this game are really good. And how long does it take for your friend to do all your chores? I don't know, Twill, but we heard that thing come down. So he did that one really quickly. So what's your story?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, what is your story?
What's up? I'm sorry, what should have I done?
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
I can do that. I can do that. I don't think so, Ellaby, but I also don't really want to be. I love things kind of the size they are right now. It's got us a good group of people to hang out and have fun with, but at the same time, I can mostly keep up with chat and actually have conversations with all of you. And Sashima, you figured it out. It was Giovanni and Viridian City. Team Rocket, you got it! Nailed it, Sashima. That was last week. Okay, so how did you end up here?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
She doesn't remember her story? Now we're bringing up Karen. A young woman named Karen dragged me out of a river unconscious and sent me in here.
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you?
It carries negative connotations where I'm from.
Why is that?
Because of the memes.
The memes? What are the memes?
I love this game. A meme is a small image you share with other people. They've become a bit like their own language.
So, a bit like Egyptian hieroglyphs, then?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, something like that.
So your people make hieroglyphics depicting this accursed character, the one they call Karen. I wonder if... No.
Oh, is there some ancient hieroglyph memes about Karen here somewhere? Tsushima, this is my river. You can't be drowning here. Okay, so what were you going to say?
I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
I mean, I have seen a bit of a pattern where everyone seems to like kind of wake up near the river, fall through that trapdoor kind of thing. It seems to be similar with a number of them. And phantasma, do you know what meme actually stands for? It's actually a sociological concept that refers to cultural tendencies and visual information that are passed down similar to genes in society. I hadn't heard that, but that's a really interesting way of like describing it. That's pretty cool. They never get to leave. Poor people, Sashima. You know, another thing that just I learned recently that blew my mind about gaming. You guys all know Fallout? Or you've seen something of it. You don't have to have played it. But you know that little character, that cartoon guy that's on all the Fallout games? He's always been kind of the mascot. He's not a character in the game, but he's everywhere. He's in all the artwork. He's in the menus, all that kind of stuff. I had heard what the inspiration of that Fallout guy was, and I had no idea, but it makes perfect sense. It was that Moneybags guy from Monopoly. If you look at like the chance cards and community chest cards for Monopoly and all the little like animations and stuff from that, that's what was the inspiration to Fallout guy, and it makes total sense. I'm like, oh yeah, that's like the same art style, same kind of you know, scenarios and just funny little drawings. I love that. Are we allowed to sin in John Katie? To a point, Krem. Just don't do anything illegal. But yeah, sinning isn't the worst thing in the world, depending on the sin. And see, what if Al brought the last person, but accidentally got trapped, so Karen is doing the job for him and uses Al as an excuse? Oh, Ellaby, I love how you're thinking. All these different ideas. That's cool. Okay, we'll say, all right, I'll do that.
Good. Thank you. But please be careful. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you, too.
Olivia's the one I think that kind of like lost her mind already. Let's say I may have already noticed a pattern. But first I want to ask, what happened to Livia?
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair.
Was the hairdresser.
She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the golden rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
It sounds like she's dealing with the same thing we are, but she's just lost her mind dealing with it. I love that, Krim. I can dodge a bonk hammer. And Karen is the boatman who ferries souls across the river Styx. Oh, how interesting. It's Charon in the actual mythology, though. Well, interesting idea. I like that. Okay, I'll say I may have noticed a pattern.
You have? Then what is it?
Some people mentioned a river.
Yes, I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else?
That sounds like a nightmare, Ellaby. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Jimmy, exactly. That's why I'm on Team Karen. Some people mentioned memory lapses.
That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. What else?
That's all we got so far. We'll come back.
There are definitely some common threads there. But I think we'll need at least a few to ensure we're not just seeing coincidences. Keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind, and dictates we should be sure. Yes, you should ask the others first.
I think you mean, Phantasma, what kind of like toys you bought them, right? The limited edition Joncadia plushie? The dogs would have torn it apart. It would have been toast. Okay, do you know of a way out of here?
I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
That's awesome. A dog-sized lazy boy, so they can hang out and watch TV with you on the new big TV you just got. What do you think of the golden rule?
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We asked for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
Is there a short version? No, we'll say we have time. This is all really interesting. That's so interesting though, Twill. I like that. In the river, in the underworld, Leth, it also gets rid of memories. There's so many, just not coincidences, but references to that kind of thing. Okay, we'll say, yeah, we got time.
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out.
That's not cool.
And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. Realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map.
Brutal.
Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
Or perhaps it's that the gods might kill you at any moment for failing their test, and they don't even have to tell you what the rules are. I like that. That's a pretty good one. But no, let's say I agree. I know most of these are meant to be like positive tales of morality and be good.
I'm pleased to hear it.
That other answer is amazing. Spider Monkey! How's it going, Spider? Good to see you, dude. And Sashima, you would make a game where I'm trapped in a place with a series of puzzles, told that only one of the puzzles leads to freedom. Then every puzzle you solve kills someone in the game. But you had to do was wait 10 to 15 minutes and the door would unlock. Oh, that would be terrible, Sashima. You'd feel so bad you even did anything. Okay, so what's the status of the election?
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Well, who's allowed to vote? We're getting some information about the voting. I like that. And Spider Monkey Shanty Radio is here. What do you know? Yeah, I love that. Sashima in Equitius voice. So is this the whole script? No, just your lines. Just your story. And I am doing fantastic. Spider, how are you doing, dude?
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend.
Just males.
Unless they're running, of course.
Can I vote then?
Well, you're not a citizen yet. So, no, I'm afraid not. But if it's any consolation, There are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
We did influence one person, the Rufius, but then the time reset, so I don't know if that actually is going to stick or not. Such as?
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
Giggity. Okay, what's your role in the election?
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
You could try drowning yourself in the Karen River. Can I nominate another candidate?
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
But I can't nominate myself because we're not a citizen. Can we start the election now? No. Well, we can ask that.
As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk. But I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason.
I just want to get it over with. Holding it early may prevent conflict between voters. I'll say never mind.
As
We don't
you
have a
wish.
reason to.
Certainly.
Okay, and I've been asking people about how they wound up here. We already did that, so I think we're done talking to her for now.
Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
Love that. Like a octopus doing the wave. Okay, so let's go talk to another one of these guys. It's all... Oh, here's one of them right here, Horatio. He's been waiting for me this whole time. He might be the one that's messing with our buddy Virgil.
What is it, citizen?
Oh, we talked to him earlier. I thought he was cool. He was with, what's his name? The Magistrate. Are you threatening Virgil?
What? Absolutely not. I know someone's been threatening him, and I'm not happy about it. But I can assure you, it isn't me.
Fair enough. I believe him.
All right?
He fell asleep just... As I have been known to do on stream. At least when we were playing... What is that game? Phoenix Wright. That was so embarrassing. That was funny.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
So this guy was kind of a jerk. So, I mean, I have to assume it's this guy, but you never know.
Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment, it being election day.
Are you the one threatening Virgil?
Do I seem like anonymous threats are my style? Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
Okay, we have to bluff one of these people. Sentius and Malleolus. Same excrement, different smell. I love the
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
the graffiti in this game. It's great. Perfect. I have a feeling it's this guy, but I don't know. I didn't get a great vibe off of the other guy as well.
Of a degenerate mind.
What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be Horatius, the jerk? Or the guy with the, like, pains that we helped? Who was kind of rude, but mostly because he was in pain, I thought. Oh, you know what? I think we're supposed to go to the slums for this quest. Right? We talked to all of them. Oh, we need to look through their homes. That's what this... I was like, what are these things? Okay, good. We can get more details about this quest. I was hoping we wouldn't just have to pick from that, because I got nothing. I would be totally guessing. Okay, let's make our way to the slums. We went down this way one time. Oh, your Discord isn't allowing you to post a pic? I wonder if it's an issue with the recent iOS update. Oh, maybe... See if you can copy it a different way, Phantasma. Sometimes it's awkward. Like, try copy and paste versus, like, adding it from your picture list, I guess. If I get there. I think I walked right by it. Oh, here we go. Down here. It just can't handle the cuteness of the dog sofa. So I actually have to break into all these guys' houses,
Cerberus
huh?
lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
We gotta talk to
Livia,
this crazy lady,
Would
too.
you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my cousin.
Okay, I'm gonna save it before we get in big trouble. Let's see here. I thought I overwrote one of these. Did it not change the name?
Thomas.
Okay, now it did. I could have sworn I did one. I guess I didn't. And tell us an Equitia style tell of how you fell asleep on stream. Start with when you were born and work into it organically. I hope you got some free time, Sashiba.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they
Oh, you don't remember that
ignorant.
platypus? There's some clips on it on the Twitch channel you gotta
You're
see.
in a world of your own, aren't you?
Okay, this is Horatio's room. Let's check his chest. Got some money I'm not gonna steal. Got some wine. I don't see... Oh, we can inspect his helmet. An ancient Roman cavalry helmet with an enclosed face mask and plume made of dyed horsehair. And a banner. A legionnaire's banner from the first Italica? This must belong to Horatius. I don't see anything very damning here. No real evidence. Let's check out this one over here. So I've got a few loops I can dedicate to it. Imagine you're having that conversation with her and you're like, hold on, I need to reset time so we can continue this. Okay, whose is this? This is Rufius's house. Incomplete note. Ah, this is your final warning center. It was Rufius. We can examine it, but we're supposed to leave it. Okay, we need to now go persuade him to stop. How are you going to persuade the guy? It started when I was born in the river. Ellaby, when in Rome. Okay, where is Rufius? Am I going the right direction? I get lost in these tunnels. I think we have to go up here. Oh, that's right, Phantasma. Has your pup been doing good? As far as, like, recovery and everything? That was so scary last week. And that squid emote is one of the best on Twitch. It's a good one. Are you in here now? Where are you? Oh, no, I think I can walk around this. Almost. There he is. Okay.
Citizen.
Bad Rufius.
Ah, you again.
Okay, are you threatening Virgil? We know you are.
No idea what you're talking about?
I know it was you. I found an incomplete letter of him to him in your quarters.
Look, I haven't been at my best lately. I know that. It's the rheumatism. It starts with constant pain in all your joints. Then the pain starts to mess with your head.
Right, Crumb?
Makes you angry, mean. I know that's not an excuse for how I acted. But it's the truth. But with the willow bark, I'm already starting to feel like myself again. I'll leave him alone from now on. It's not as if I was ever going to hurt him anyway. I was just lashing out.
I don't think pain works that
Go
way.
and clean up the graffiti. Just forget this ever happened. Will you?
I mean, he was like going out of his way to lash out at somebody. Like, it doesn't really work that way. I don't know. I could see lashing out on people around you in your circle, you know, because you're in pain, you just act out badly. But who, like, is in pain and goes out of their way to mess with somebody else? I don't know. Maybe I've just never been in that kind of pain. That seems weird. And you were totally right, Krem. You called it. Oh, and Phantasma, I can't wait to see the picture. You know I'm a sucker for a good dog picture. Ellaby, as long as you are try to be, you know, decent, you're not going to get banned here. You got to be pretty bad to get banned here. Just don't look at the rules. Be nice, be good to everybody. Like, you know, don't be racist, don't be sexist, don't be anything like that. Don't be homophobic. Just be cool with everybody. Be nice, get along. We'll be fine. Oh, Andy will love it. Phantasma, 100%. Emote only time is something else. Yeah, once you hit VIP, it's just kind of a bummer, Phantasma. I wish emote only affected everybody except for mods. I think it should also affect VIPs. I don't think that's a setting that I can change either. Okay, so I thought we stopped Virgil's harassment. Now we have to tell Rufius, or tell Virgil Rufius will leave him alone. So he was admitting he has a problem with the guy, but he was just in pain, made him anger. I see. So, I mean, he's already not a good guy. He does have that ideologies, I guess. I mean, probably back then, way more people do than even now, and it's still ridiculously rampant. But that pain made him lash out on those thoughts. That does make a bit more sense.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil.
I like this guy.
I hear we have you to thank for saving Julia's life. I'm glad you arrived when you did.
Okay, don't worry about the threats. It's just Rufius, and he's never going to hurt you.
What demon or spirit told you about that?
We do Twill. Yeah, we had talked to him in a previous loop. I found an incomplete note in his house.
You went snooping in his place? That was risky. We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it?
Yep, and he won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? How did you manage that?
I found a treatment for his rheumatism, which was making him agitated and compounding some other personal issues. I guess that's the thing I was thinking of, Sashima. I know that I totally understand. You can just be agitated at life, but being in pain isn't going to make you homophobic. But if you're already homophobic, being in pain can make you lash out even more, which is kind of what they're saying here.
Poor fellow. I've heard that can really mess with a person's head. Well done for figuring that out.
Happy to help. I think he wants to help clean up the graffiti too. Good. Good, he should.
Really? That's promising. I'll keep an eye out for him.
And who are you going to vote for?
Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision.
Anything I can do to change that?
My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking. Nice to talk to you.
And everybody likes this Malleolus guy, even if they're not being bribed. Okay, what do we got next? That was another lead taken care of. Let's see, the locked villa. We have to get into Malleolus's villa. And Pandora's box. You know, there's also a lot of people we haven't talked to yet. So I think we should go talk to that old lady that was kind of talking to herself, going nuts. I think she's going to be important. I feel like she was dealing with some of the same stuff we've been dealing with. Let's see if I can find my way back there.
Dooley. How are you doing today?
I think it was this way. But Sashima, I'm sorry to hear you're dealing with joint pain. That sucks. I had some real bad back pain about... oh, not that way. About a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It sucked. Kind of debilitating. Like, it hurt me to get out of bed. When I'm moving around, I was okay, but like certain movements were just terrible. Okay. Oh yeah, I always forget this. Oh, not that. This. Okay, what is this place? The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Are these memes? Are these ancient memes? And a note from Livia. The place is called Accursed. Here, Titios offers up his innards to be torn, stretched out over 9 fields. You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, and yet the tree you grasp at eludes you. You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns. Ixion turns and follows after himself and flees, and the 49 Belides, who who dare to plot the destruction of their cousins, their husbands, fetch again, with the incessant labor, the water they have lost. I think that was it. Interesting. So this is Livia's little area. And don't live with your back anymore. You're no longer a young jet. Yeah, it was awful. Oh, we can take this one and a bottle of wine without actually stealing anything. Nice. Yeah, I was doing my some heavy lifting, like workouts, and I just had really bad form. I was leaned too far forward when I was trying to grab my weights and just wrecked my back. But it healed up pretty quick, so that was a good sign. Here's some more graffiti. May the gods be kinder to you than they were to us, stranger. Dang. Okay, here's the lady I was talking to, or wanted to talk to.
You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns.
That happens a lot, especially in older games, Sashima. They just make it blatantly obvious, right?
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come.
Okay, crazy lady. And Ellaby, when I stream on Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 12 a.m., so you can stay until 11. Are you Pacific Standard Time, Ellaby, or what time zone are you in? Okay, what's your story?
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives.
Oh, so for you it's even a little bit later, Ellaby. Yeah, that's one thing interesting about West Coast time, unfortunately, is it's kind of late for everybody for me. If you're on the East Coast, it's extremely late. I'm sorry, I have no idea what that means.
They never do.
At least she knows that she's being very cryptic. Okay, do you know of a way out of here?
There is only a downward
See,
path,
Alex?
gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions.
Alex, you take care, dude. Good luck with your stuff. Thank you again so much for the sub and hanging out. Hope to see you again soon. Do you need help?
Help me? You cannot help me. I have seen things. A pattern, a terrible pattern. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more.
Yeah, 12. Mostly just like a warning. Not that you did spoil anything at all, Sashima. Just like, uh-oh, let's not go any further kind of thing. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
The bloodless shadows. This is their punishment.
She needs many snacks and much water. Maybe to bathe in, even. Right. Can you tell me about the pattern you saw?
You think you wish to know, but you do not. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more.
I don't know, Katamari. I felt like I bathed in snacks over the holidays. It was bad. It was pretty bad. You know, it's kind of funny, LB. The tickets you can use for like doing fun things with emotes and a few other things, and like changing my voice, redeeming a battle royale if you save up a lot. But then with the tokens that you earn, you can do other things with. You can use tokens to play sound effects. You can customize your little character down here. And you can also save up a whole bunch and request a game to stream.
The newly arrived are ignorant of the road before them.
Surprised I didn't get anything more out of her. Well, I'm sure we'll have to talk to her more later. Prototype. Looks like someone has been hard at work on a prototype zipline. This must be our buddy's chest. Yeah, this is him. He has a poem. Can we read his poem without getting in trouble? This is our guy that helps us out every time we start this. My life has been tortuous. as the 7 labors of Hercules, orphaned, defeated, and enslaved. Yet I would suffer it all again gladly, because each lost, wound, and tragedy brought me to you. Radiant as Rome's sacred flame, your bright warmth nourishes my soul. I know I can never touch you, any more than hold Vesta's flame. But to watch and love you from afar, bathing in your glow, is enough. Oh wow, who's he talking about? We'll have to ask him about that poem, hopefully. And Hercules had the 12 labors? Yeah, there's that connection. Although, we're also trying to talk to that other woman about the patterns who's holding the election as well. Okay, I think this goes out of here. That goes backwards. He might be Team Karen. Could be Karen he's talking about.
Cannot catch the drops of water, and the tree you grasp at eludes you.
Okay, let's see if we can talk to her again. Man, she just loves cleaning, doesn't she? Look at her go.
Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before.
I guess I could skip this because we've heard this before. She's just trying to flirt with us. What happens if we continue this going forward? Let's try the first option. And you're as charming as you are beautiful.
Ugh, coming on a bit strong, don't you think?
She doesn't like any answer. What? You came on to me.
I take back what I said. Suddenly, I don't find you so intriguing anymore. Let's just forget that ever happened.
I think you're right, Phantasma.
So, what brings you to my tavern?
She's one of those girls who really likes to play hard to get. Yeah, I'll be going now.
All right. See ya.
At least we tried it. You gotta nag her. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Produce bowl. The carrots are purple as they were before the modern orange carrots were cultivated. Oh, I had no idea they used to be purple. Some more graffiti in here. Theophilus had an orgy with 4 girls here. Oh, and disappointed them all equally. We did read that one before. That one's super funny. I think it said carrots were purple. Crap, I don't know about bananas. Get some light in here. I'm not sure if I fully explored these areas or not. I don't think so. Yeah, why is she still playing games? I don't know. I think Arbo is just a trick to get us to start talking to her more, be more interested, and then she can try to exploit us for that secret. That's my guess. Therapy Android, how is it going? How are you doing? Great to see you. I was just talking about you earlier, Therapy. Somebody was asking...
Don't you just love springtime?
Where are you going? He's in a hurry.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
But yeah, Therapy Android, what is the... how many months are you subscribed to the channel? Are you able to look that up? I thought it was like around 36 months, but I think you have the longest running streak currently. There's a few people like right around there, but I think you might have 1 month over everybody else. Just say you never believe me if I told you. We haven't tried that answer yet.
Oh, come on. I just did as you asked. The least you can do is level with me. I'll keep it between us. I promise.
And Legend, you just got a YouTube ad that was an entire Rickroll. At least that's kind of funny. I'm glad that Rickroll is still a thing. Exactly, Arbo. You're better off not knowing.
That's a shame. Now everybody's gonna think I'm some kind of oracle for knowing the future before it happens, and I have no way of explaining it. Hey, maybe the patricians will start treating me with a bit more respect. But then again, probably not. All right, I'll leave you to it, friend.
2 years, Phantasma.
I saw you slide down
2.5
that rope
years.
before. Very impressive. And strange, too, since that device you used is exactly the same as one I've been working on for weeks. There I was, thinking I'd invented it. Anyway, I'm sorry to ask, but is there any chance you'd be willing to do me a favor?
Oh, it's just shy of 3 years therapy. Oh my gosh. You only need like 10 more days. That's awesome. Really? Does that kill your streak, Phantasma? That sucks, because I just took like 2 weeks off. I'm surprised that ruined the streak like that. So he actually needs a favor. What does he need?
Well, I've been trying to get this rare flower from the rock spire in the middle of the lake. It's too steep to climb, so I hung a rope over the lake and made this pulley device, only I couldn't quite summon the nerve to use it. Do you think you could use the device again and try to get that flower for me?
I would do that. Sure, why not? But wait, why do you need it? Curious. Oh, it's going to be for a girl, right? Therapy. I'm really digging this game. I think you'd get a kick out of it. It's really cool. It's got this neat time loop where if anybody in this city commits any kind of sin, everybody dies. And we're trapped here. And we keep going through this loop and we're trying to figure out who's causing the sin and how we can escape this place.
I don't really feel comfortable talking about it.
And Galerius is a little too wise for his own good. Looks like it's about time for him to get the old John Cadia treatment, if you know what I mean. Oh no, poor Galerius. Nice, Ellaby. That's one of our most commonly used emotes, of course. Oh, I like this. Come on, tell me. Do you have a little crush on someone?
Look, I'll tell you everything if you get it for me. All right?
I think it came out last year, Therapy. I think it was 2021. Oh, yeah, fairly new. At least, especially for the kind of games I play. Sure, why not?
Oh, thank you. It would help me a lot. There's no rush, just whenever you get a chance.
All right. I'll get right on it.
All right. See you around.
I am definitely down to help this guy out, because he's awesome. Okay, so there's the flower. We need to use that one right there to get across. So I think I need to go up and around and this way. Can I use it from here? No, because that's going up. Okay, so we have to get to the other side, ride the rope down, and I'm guessing we can drop just at the right time. A little ominous, isn't it, Twill? I know, he's mad at us for keeping secrets, and then he's not telling us something. That doesn't seem very fair. Where is that rock? It's right down there. This one right here. Okay. So let's see how this works. I'm going to try saving it, just in case. Oops. There we go. In case this kills me. Oh, gosh. You have to jump really fast. Okay. Almost as soon as that thing starts moving, you have to jump. Good old Jeff Bezos. Yeah, is secrets a sin? I don't know. We're still not entirely sure what they consider sin in this. Oh man. That's a tricky one. Okay. We were close. Oh, you're driving to the airport right now? Maybe see you later. Have a good drive to the airport, Therapy. And if, I don't know if you have a chance to respond, but where are you headed this time? You get to do so much cool travel for your work. I used to travel quite a bit for my work. Never internationally, but I've been to a number of places in the U.S. and but not so much recently, which I actually like. Like when I first got my job and I was in my early 20s, I loved to travel. But now that I'm married, got the house, got the dogs, traveling doesn't sound as appetizing as it used to. Come on. Okay. I'm close. I got to go a little bit earlier than what I'm doing. Wait a second. Weren't they just telling us about how people were like put through some tortures by the god where they had like roll a big boulder up a hill and it kept rolling back down? That's how I feel. Trying to slide across this and land just at the perfect spot, but I can't. Oh, that was close. That was so close. I actually don't mind airplanes. but Andy hates them. So when we take a flight, Andy's usually really stressed, so I'm calming her down instead of doing what I want to do, which is like play on my Switch for 5 hours. Yeah, right. The horror. Okay. Now. Oh! Okay, so you don't have to land on it. I just have to press E as soon as like I'm within range. I saw it pop up on the screen for just half a second, and it said press E to pick up. Yeet! How's it going, Juggalo? Welcome to the stream. Are you familiar with this game? This is all new to me. Oh, and Juggalo, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that, dude. Have her ask the doctor for Santa. She hates taking medicine. Unless she absolutely has to, she will not take any kind of medicine. So she'd rather just be stressed and have a miserable flight. Go, 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 go. Oh, I got it. I didn't see any kind of animation, but we got it. Nice. Okay, let's find Galileus to do that. You love the reaction of the yeet comment? So you just got it. Oh, I appreciate that, dude. Nope. She won't take anything, Phantasma. Unless she absolutely has to. And I respect that. That's cool. But it does make certain things a little bit trickier.
Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend. Now, what's on your mind?
Well, I happen to have that flower that you asked for. She will take a warm John Cadia hug. Actually, I pretty much have to hold her the whole time because she's so stressed.
Brilliant! You did it! Well done! This is going to make her so happy. Equitia, I mean. Now I just have to figure out how to give it to her. What I really want to do is walk up to her, give her the flower, and confess I've been madly in love with her since the moment we met.
Do it.
But on the other hand, I can't shake the feeling that the consequences could be terrible.
What's the worst that could happen?
You mean, aside from her execution? You see, Equitia is a Vestal priestess, meaning she's taken a vow of chastity, the breaking of which would be an extremely serious affront to the gods and a capital offense. Even if she was just suspected of being unchaste, it could lead to her execution. Unchaste Vestals get buried alive. Oh, and I'd get flogged to death for good measure. But at the same time, she's just so kind and graceful, and I feel so much love for her that if I don't tell her, it'll burn a hole in my chest. I don't know what to do. What do you think? What would you do?
Oh, this is tricky. Okay, since you called that, Twill, we're just going to drop a token. You might be able to get it. Somebody else will probably get it, but we'll drop a token for that amazing guess. Oh, there already was one. Never mind, there's 2 tokens there. Breathing is a sin. No! And Holly, could you not just hold hands forever? That would be so cute, Holly. How are you doing, Holly? Been a long time. Hope you're having a fantastic day. How have things been? What's new? Let's see. Holly and Ellie caught one. Nice catches. Okay, so we got 4 options here. I think you should tell her how you feel. Consequences be damned, even though it could kill everybody here, right? I think you could admire her discreetly from afar. That's just torture. If you really love her, you need to get over her. Or, I'm no relationship counselor, figure it out. Now, if I was like religious and I believed everything going on in this, like, you know, society, I would say this one. If you really love her, you need to get over her because it's bad for her to do this, right? However, because I'm not part of this, I think number 1, I think you should tell her how you feel. Consequences be damned. That's what I guess. Yeah, I like that, Phantasma. I should suggest therapy. The thing, not the person in our chat. Sashima, don't go with your instincts. You know what will happen. Well, we don't know exactly what's a sin. My guess is that is going to be a sin. But what if it doesn't consider that a sin? What if these gods just let that slide? Who knows? Maybe everything will be okay. I should have saved it before starting this thing, huh? This could be bad. This could be real bad. Okay, let's go number 1. Let's see what happens. Galerius deserves to be happy.
Now that I hear you say that out loud, I hear how crazy it is. I think maybe I need to be a bit more cautious.
Good call.
What I need is a go-between. Someone who can tell her how I feel and find out how she feels without risking her life. What do you say? Do you think you could help me one more time?
Absolutely.
Wonderful! Now, all I need you to do is give her the flower and tell her it's from a secret admirer. Tell her I'll keep my distance and that I just want her to know that she's loved.
Oh man, this guy. I feel so bad for him. That's sweet. I'll do it. That's corny, but alright, I'll do it.
Thank you. Come back as quick as you can and tell me what she says.
Let's see. And Holly, you've been doing a lot of training in and out of work, so you've had no free time. I've been really well. It's great to see you again. No, things have been good. Oh, he's stuck. Let me get out of his way. I've been really good. Just work, everything. Nothing too crazy here. Nothing too exciting. Just normal stuff. Holidays were fun. Ate way too much junk, but it was good. Where is she? I thought she used to be around here. I like how all the characters like move around. You know, it's very realistic. It's confusing because I can't just keep going to the same places to find them, but much more realistic this way. Oh, there's somebody in jail here.
Hello?
I did not mean to talk to you right now, but okay. What's your story, Dooley?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
Poor guy, kind of sounds sad. He's just walking into the wall, right, Ellaby?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
Looking for treasure? Did somebody think you were going to steal?
Yes, but I wasn't. I was just looking.
I mean, I've done that quite a bit. I've looked through everybody's stuff. I don't steal it, but I've looked through it. Is that all?
They said I did it more than once, but I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
Liability? I shouldn't be laughing, but I just kind of thought it was cute. A liar, Billy. Like, your name's not Billy. I don't know if you're a liar.
Yes. They said I have to live here now, and gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you think you could read it for me?
I feel bad for this guy. Yeah, we should let him out, right, Krim? Hashtag free Dooley. Okay, let's change this to reading mode. Letter from Sentius to Dooley. Magistrate Sentius to Dooleus. I am writing you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behavior arising from your obsession with an alleged lost treasure. While I am sympathetic to your plight, the passing of your guardian Hannibal some weeks ago, I wish to impress upon you an important message. The treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely that you simply misremembered. More importantly, since you have on several occasions been caught trespassing, including around the cisterns, which are strictly off limits to all citizens, I've reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to this community and must have your freedom limited, lest you break the golden rule. It is my hope that this letter will assist you to remember why you were incarcerated, should you experience further lapses in. So one of our missions was to get up to the cisterns and check it out, which we haven't even tried to go up there yet. But now that we know this, we're probably going to get more information about Dooley when we go up there. So I think we're done with this. Can we take it?
What does it say?
It says they caught you trespassing several times, and they locked you up to stop you from breaking the golden rule.
My treasure.
Is he Gollum from Lord of the Rings? What treasure?
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about assistance. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And Ek, the priestess lady. She's a nice lady.
I can't say that name either. Very true, Phantasma. Don't punch down. Punch up. You're going to punch. I like this. If you give me the key, I can try to find out what it unlocks.
Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
Let me talk to the magistrate about getting you out of here.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
Oh, then maybe it's time we had a new magistrate. I don't agree with that. I think the magistrate who's in there currently is probably better than the new one everybody's going to vote for, although we haven't talked to him yet. Let's just say maybe I'll break you out.
What about the rules? I don't want everyone to get in trouble because I was bad.
True. Then maybe it's time we had a new magistrate.
Like Galerius. He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
That's an option? We can get Galerius to be the magistrate? Heck yes. That dude is so awesome and so wholesome, yet so horny. But he'd probably make a great magistrate. I like that. Oh, and Krem. Yeah, or sorry, Ellaby. We're probably going to go for about another 30, 40 minutes or so. So yeah, if you have to go, if you're getting tired, I totally understand. It's no problem at all. Yeah, you can always catch the ending of the stream later on tomorrow or whenever you have time, just before the next stream if you want to be caught up on the story, of course. Sleeping is overrated. No, it's not. Sleeping is good. Okay. So, do we want to do that right this second, though? Let's just say we'll see what we can do. I want to finish up what we're working on. But I do want to help him. Do you know of a way out of here?
You're going to let me out of here? Really?
That's true, Twill. He's very respectively being horny. I like that. Well, that's not what I said. I asked if you know of a way out of here.
Oh. Please. I hate it here.
Poor guy.
It makes me very sad.
Speaking of poor people in a cage, I just watched this movie called Nightmare Alley on HBO. It's the new Guillermo del Toro movie. Have you guys seen it? I thought it was really good. But big part of the movie is about like a carnival. And this is like in the 1940s when they had what they called geeks, which were essentially almost like the people that essentially like would eat the heads off of chickens, and they're very animalistic and stuff, and they kept them in these cages. It's very sad. Okay, let's talk about your... Oh, what do you think about the golden rule?
Gold? You mean treasure?
Talk about your treasure.
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said...
So we heard that.
Said, if he gave me this key...
Oh, this is all the same thing.
Hannibal... Galerius. Like, if you... Hannibal...
I think what I'm supposed to do is click this first option where it says I'll get right on it. Maybe that's why I didn't get the quest.
Bye-bye.
Oh, where'd she go? I was just gonna give that lady the flower. Secret admirer? Is this it? Yeah, okay. This is what I wanted to do first. Come back here. You can't run from me. Equetia. There we go.
Ave again. Did you find what you need?
Oh, I found something. Someone wanted me to give you this flower.
Oh, how lovely. It just happens to be my favorite, too. Who do I have to thank for this?
Oh, that sucks, Phantasma. Another scary storm coming. It's cold here, and I think in some of the mountains around us, they're getting like a little bit of snow, but I never get snow where I actually live. So I'm supposed to tell you it's from your secret admirer, and that they'll keep their distance. They just want you to know that you're loved.
I see. So, it's from Galerius, then?
Well, that was obvious. Okay, you know already?
Of course I do. I think everyone in the city knows. That man is a wonderful human being, and my favorite person in the world.
Aww.
But he is the least subtle secret admirer you could imagine. The way he looks at me with those puppy dog eyes. Plus, he's been trying for weeks to get his hands on this flower. He went to so much effort, too. Suspending that rope above the lake, inventing that pulley device all on his own. He'd just stand there each morning, looking at the flower, trying to summon the courage to seize it. Oh, my heart.
So, what should I tell him, poor guy?
Tell that adorable oaf that my Vestal's vow of chastity ends once I turn 36. So, if we ever make it out of here, and he doesn't mind waiting a few years, then tell him I love him too.
Nice. It's not forever. There is an ending to that. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that.
I hope so.
That's a very good ending. Oh, I'm happy. I don't think we have any new information for this clue yet, so we'll say we'll be going now.
Once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
Yeah, better safe than sorry, Phantasma. Yeah, do whatever preps you can do. Okay, so now let's go back to Galerius and tell him the good news. He's this way. Is he in the slums? Where is this guy? Looks like it's this way. 2.5 hour Zoom. That sounds miserable. I don't know. I really feel sorry for, kids having to deal with learning and socializing during this pandemic. Like, that's not a good time.
Galerius?
There he is.
Lithium fire's not for
Looking a
sale.
bit troubled there.
Still no sign of Scintilla. And I haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
Oh, he's
Don't
talking
be too
after
hard
wait.
on yourself. From what I hear, nobody saw it coming. Anyway, I thought you Stoics weren't supposed to worry about things you can't control.
Yeah, but I keep thinking, what if there is something I can do? What if she's out there somewhere suffering, waiting to be found?
Sounds like you're torturing yourself. Leave that for the gods. Try to relax, get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
I suppose you're right.
My gosh, that is very true, Hasifa. Without the internet and COVID, there's just no school at all. Or if COVID hit the school, what were you saying, Phantasma? They did in like ancient times? They would just quarantine the school and burn it down, to keep the disease from spreading.
Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend. Now, what's on your mind?
Okay, I delivered that flower to Equitia for you.
Thanks. What did she say?
She knew it was from you. She asked me to tell you that once she turns 36, she's allowed to marry, and that she loves you too.
Venus, that is the best news I've ever heard in my life. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You have no idea how happy you've made me.
Aww.
I wish there was something I could do to thank you properly, but I don't have much to offer you. All I can do is tell you where there's a secret stash of coins you might be interested in.
Well, hello. Oh, I like that. You can say, "Don't worry about it. I don't need anything from you." Let's do the good guy move. Let's try that.
Thank you, friend. But I'd feel bad if I didn't tell you anyway. In the rock tunnel near the stairs, there's a little doorway set into the rock. Inside, if you look carefully, you can see a chest. Unfortunately, one of those golden huntress statues is blocking the path, and I'm not game to move it. If you can figure out how to get past it, I reckon there might be a small fortune waiting for you. I hope that helps in some way.
Hey, then maybe we can pay that woman to tell us how to get out of here. I like, you know what, I want to talk to him face to face. This is weird talking to his ear.
All right, see you around.
Because we caught him while he was on the table, so it's like super awkward.
So exotic.
Ah, it's you again.
There we go.
Hope you're settling in, friend. Now, what's on your mind?
This is much better. So, have I never asked him these questions? I guess not.
Well, it's a long one and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it.
I have time.
I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia, Camulodunum, with my parents and 2 little sisters. Lovely part of the world. One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men. My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. Sprinted so fast I almost threw up, but by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground.
Oh no.
And our cart was empty. That was my first encounter with the legions. My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead, but I was young, and it was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These legion thugs just took whatever they wanted.
Jerks.
One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were, and what they wanted. I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle.
Whoa!
But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke.
Burned down his farm.
My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. Still burns whenever I think about it.
Yeah, so we also had the idea that maybe everybody here that's stuck here had sinned in their life in some way. So maybe his is that murder that he did, trying to protect him and his sister and his home, but, you know, yeah, we're sorry to hear that. It almost seems like that, Holly. It's very, we're still almost like a purgatory kind of thing, but as far as we know, we're like stuck in some kind of time loop. If anybody sins, everybody in this town gets killed, and it restarts itself. So we're just trying to find out who's sinning, try to stop that from happening, and also find a way to get out of here.
Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved. So, then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome to be sold to the highest bidder. I spent a few years working for my new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. I'd never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river.
Karen?
Stumbled across this place and started my life over again.
Oh, and Ellaby, you have a great sleep. I hope you get some good rest, and thank you so much for joining us. Of course, have a good one. Hope we get to see you on Thursday. And have fun in Mexico. That sounds like a blast. Okay. So let's say I'm glad things worked out in the end.
That's what I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me yet. See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bits for himself, of course.
Of course.
He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule. I'm not sure I believe him, but then, what if he's right? So, it turns out our dear old Magistrate is no better than the Legion thugs who took everything from me. And I'm right back where I began. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting, and he'll get his one day.
Ah.
He'll get his. Forget I said that last part, will you? I get carried away sometimes.
Is he gonna be the guy that sins? Interesting. So that is another pattern for sure, Twill, I believe. So we know that they all wake up kind of at the river. They all talk to a Karen or something, and they have like loss of memories. And now it seems maybe we have a pattern of they've all done some kind of evil thing before they popped up here. A few people mentioned, I see the dangerous pattern, a few people mentioned the fires in Rome. So could have something to do with that as well. And Sashima, you know, honestly, a Groundhog Day where you're not really given guidance, just a series of things you can do, leaving you to explore possibilities and just trying to find the true ending without context could be fun. Sashima, there is a Groundhog's Day VR game. I don't know if it's anything like that, but I've been wanting to try it out sometime. We might have to stream it at some point. Okay, ooh, do I just lie sure or I say sure? What's the difference? Or we'll see. We'll sure lie. Sure.
Thanks, friend. I knew I liked you. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
Oh, that probably does change a dialogue later, Sashima. Maybe because I like him. I don't honestly believe he's going to do something that bad. I don't know, though. Okay, we haven't asked him any of these questions. Do you know of a way out of here?
Well, as much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it? But Scintilla, Sentius' daughter, went missing a few weeks back. Could be she found a way out. If anyone knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia. But she'd never tell the likes of me.
Or me. She also won't talk to us. No, Holly, we don't know anything about ourselves. We also kind of have the same problem where we have sort of amnesia. We woke up on the riverbed, talked to Karen. She sent us in to go find somebody named Al in these ruins. We fell down, and we found Al has been stuck there for a long time, also in this time loop, and ended up hanging himself. So he gave up. What do you think about the golden rule? Oh, good night, Ella V. If you do get some sleep, hopefully you do. But if you're not quitting the stream, thank you for the lurk, too.
Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know?
You know, Phantasma, I have the same problem, too, especially when I'm streaming, because I'm like trying to pay attention to the game, try to make sense of everything that's happening, but I'm also kind of having like side stories and chatting with you guys, so it could be tough to like put enough focus on either one to 100% it, you know? It's a tricky balance. Okay, what do you think about the election?
I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. I don't like Sentius much, but Malleolus is almost as bad. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. And I've never given a speech or put on a toga in my life.
Funny you should say that. Have you ever thought about running for magistrate yourself?
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. And that's good enough for me.
Agreed, Krem, 100%. I'll vote for him. Love that. Shut up, Bezos. That's awesome, Sashima. It's like a very meta version of what we do on stream every time. Dang it, Karen. Okay. If Malleolus runs, he's going to break the golden rule and kill us all. Well, I'm also curious about this. Do we know that? I don't know if that's what causes this whole thing. Why is Dooley in a cell?
Because Sentius put him there. Poor Dooley was just wandering around looking for some imaginary treasure. Now a magistrate accused him of being a thief. That's nonsense, of course. Dooley's the most harmless man you'll ever meet. But Sentius really has it in for him for some reason.
I don't know. I think there is something to that. Let's say this. If Malleolus runs, he's going to break the golden rule and kill us all.
And how could you know that? I mean, I don't like the man, but I don't see how you could know a thing like that.
Wait, have we seen this? I don't remember seeing this. He plans to have Sentius executed for treason?
You overheard him say that? Oh, why does that not surprise me? He and Sentius have despised each other for a long time now. Well, in that case, we need to find a way to make sure Malleolus loses. Better yet, get him to withdraw altogether. If you can do that, and Sentius is the only candidate left, I'll run against him. Deal?
Aha. Alright, let's do that.
Alright, see you around.
I could see this game having a bunch of different endings, actually. I think Karen might know the way out.
All weapons are to be tossed into the chasm. Magistrate's orders.
You know, I think somebody said that, Sashima. Like, somebody actually tried to leave, and the whole thing went off because they tried to crawl out the hole. So yeah, there's really no way out, even that way. Okay, so let's see. What is our current missions? We also have this Vanishing Act one. We have to try to find out what happened to that girl, the guy's daughter. I have a hard time choosing which quest to go after. They're all interesting. Oh, we also have a main goal of the common thread. Ah, there is a new thing where we can say some people have met a stranger. We could do that, but I kind of like doing these side ones first. Oh, that probably would, Sashima. I bet one shot and everything goes terrible and you have to leave. Figure out why Livia's acting strangely. Let's try this one. Let's go talk to that priestess again. We have a couple things we have to talk to the priestess about. Oh. She just said the same thing. Where is the priestess? I actually don't see a marker on my map. But I just made that the active quest.
Horatius? Looking a bit troubled there.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of...
I wonder why I don't have a marker. Maybe she's like asleep or something. It looks like it's getting late. I don't know exactly how time works in this game. I think at some point, it just, like, the sin happens and the whole thing resets. Yeah. Oh, wait, she's right here, isn't it? Interesting that it didn't mark the priestess. I have it marked off.
I've never seen a lamp like that. Praise Apollo.
That's cool. I like how they react to the flashlight.
Ave again. Did you find what you need?
Okay, so we've been asking people how they wound up here.
And did you notice anything? A pattern?
Some people mention an encounter with a stranger on the riverbank.
Yes, I also had such an encounter. It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through.
There we go.
You mentioned earlier you met a young woman in the forest named Karen, yes?
That's right.
I see. And was this Karen by any chance wearing a hood?
She was wearing a hoodie. How could you have known that?
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
All right, I'll meet you in the baths.
But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Okay, so you can press E to follow your guide, but I want to do it far away. How far away can you do this? It's kind of cool. Twill. What's going on here? Bathing with the hot lady. Got the bonks at the ready. Okay, that definitely deserves another token, but this time, let me try to make sure Twill gets it. You guys might be able to jump ahead of time, but let's see if I can get this to work. Where are you, Twill? There you are. I think this is you. Bam! Okay, you got it. That was an awesome guess. Not guess, but an awesome deduction that you did. Even the voices are whispering, priestess. Appreciate it, Phantasma. You're not bothering me, though. Oh, wow. This is kind of like near the entrance to this place. I think when we first fell down, it was through that hole right into this big bath.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin.
Yeah.
It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead.
You nailed it.
Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
We're in the underworld?
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense.
Wow.
All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
That's a great idea, Twill. I think we need a big brain emote. Maybe it could be one of the animated emotes. That would be cool. But yeah, you called it, knowing all of that awesome mythology lore that you do. That was great. Yes, we're dead and being punished. So I say we go to the bar and get a snack. Wait, a drink, or you're talking about the bartender? Okay, so we're dead.
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
Oh, and Azucha. Sorry, I forgot to say hi earlier. How are you doing, dude? It's great to see you. Okay, so what can you tell me about Charon?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different.
Or if you were Twill.
Whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
Wait, is that the coin that I picked my, sex with, I believe? Why didn't you all recognize Charon immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
I think it will. I think it will. Spider, you pick it too? Well, you pick what, Spider? What did you pick? And I love that our union meetings happen when John's doing the push-ups after the hype trains. Lots of important secret chat business there. And then Ahmad goes in there and wipes all the chat, right, before I get back to see it. Why are there so few people in the underworld? That's an interesting question.
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
And were you trying to keep this from me?
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you.
Okay, that's all the questions we have for now.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter, Orpheus, a Thracian poet, Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Can't we just escape the way we came in? We did find out, I think someone tried that, and it counted as a sin and set everything off. You have many more questions. We have so many questions in this game, Spider. Not enough answers. Oh, thank you, Phantasma. I appreciate that. The debt has been paid.
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed you seemed uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Yeah, I'm really digging all the mythology stuff in this. Tell me more about confronting Pluto head-on.
Is everyone so blunt where you're from?
Yes.
That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
What? Hercules could manipulate time or turn organic matter into gold.
Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
There we go. What can you tell me about the obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
We got some work to do. Dang. And yeah, Katamari. So on a quest in our first stream, we managed to get a bow that can actually, whenever you shoot with it, turns into gold. Whether it's people, whether it's like vines or all water, all different kinds of things. Yeah, no guide route then. So where do we find the Roman plaque?
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten. And there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god. Theirs, of course.
Of course.
They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
And how is it going, Tiny? It's great to see you. Good morning. I think it's kind of morning for you right now. What's up? How you doing? How about the Greek plaque?
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum.
That guy's great. An Egyptian plaque?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room.
I was going to say, I don't think I talked to the other guy, but they said he was missing, Kabash. And the mystery plaque.
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. But perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way.
Sorry to hear it's been super hectic. Is there any light at the end of the tunnel, Tiny? Are you going to get a break pretty soon? Okay, tell me more about escaping with the help of Proserpina, or a guide.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
Say, so she might be willing to work against him to help us? Or that's horrible. Let's say that's horrible.
It is. The gods are a mirror image of mankind, as far as cruelty is concerned, I'm afraid. If the stories are true, I imagine she's as desperate to escape as we are. If she really did help Orpheus and Sisyphus, perhaps she'll help us too. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
Good call, Katamari. Maybe. Yeah. Sisyphus. So one of those is the Greek version, and one of them is the Roman version of the same name, Persephone. I hear the female statues whispering to me every now and then.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more?
Thank you, Twill.
Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
It is always the same voice, and she's helpful, if a little cryptic.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
Not yet. Not even close.
Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth. All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
And Livia was talking about the underworld when we were doing that. I think the first thing we'll probably do is talk to Livia.
In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Got so many things to do in this game. And there's still like the side quests that all feed into the main quest, which I really like. Look at all these active missions we have now. Holy cow. Okay, so... do we want to continue this one right now, or do we move on to one of the other ones we've been working on? I kind of want to do these plaques a little bit later, I think. So it feels like it's like the main mission, and I kind of want to do some of the other side stuff first. 100% Spider. Luckily, this game's it's supposed to be really short. From what I was reading, it's like around 8 or 10 hours. So it wouldn't hurt to actually try to do some of the side stuff in this game. Let's see. We haven't even talked to this Malleus yet, but I think we'll probably wait until later to do that. For now, I think we will talk to this Livia first. And that'll probably be a good time to wrap things up after that, too. Nightmare mode. I don't know if this game has replayability, Spider. I would guess not. It seems like you can't do the water mission until you get dirt on Malleus. That makes sense. There is some order you have to do some of these things. Always remember they're watching. That's our archaeologist insight. Wade against the current. See, now that might have been a hint on how to get out of here. Wade against the current. Now that we've had that mission, I think we need to listen to the whispering more as far as, like, it might be giving us hints on how to actually leave. But I wouldn't think we want to leave until we're done with everything here, you know? Yeah, never have a notepad. Let's see here. This way. Oh yeah, she's always in the slums. She's one character that doesn't move around too much. I like that your character does move fairly quick, especially in places like this. There's a lot of ground to cover. Oops. Okay, I need my flashlight. There we go. I took a wrong turn. This way. I always miss that every single time.
You, Sisyphus, attack or push just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world. So this place accepts all the souls, but it does not notice the crowds that come.
I heard somebody saying it's time. Is the election happening right now? Okay, I figured it out. I know where we are.
Say it. Speak its name.
The underworld.
Then it is true. I was right.
You were.
I thought
I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it?
I just realized I have to be somewhere. We'll say, sure. Hey, welcome, Therapy. How you doing? You made it to the airport. Hopefully you had a safe drive. How long till your flight?
I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives. And still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
Well, good. At least she knows that she's not totally crazy now. Not saying she's not a little bit crazy, but I think she feels a little bit better. Oh, I hate the security lines Therapy. Usually in the bigger airports, it can take us a good hour and a half, 2 hours to get through security sometimes. So wait.
Wow. Isn't that a big, long bow?
Where's the election happening? I thought it was just kind of happening right now. Nice. That does help, Phantasma. That definitely does help. Until everybody has it, and then it'll be just as bad as the regular lines, right? Okay, I was thinking things might be going down with the election. I'm going to try to go to that big kind of area. I think it's outside of Malleus. I'm not sure where they actually do it. Oh yeah, I can hear the Magistrate calling for treason right now. Where is this happening? I don't know exactly where to go for this. But yeah, I just heard him say that there's treason going on. It's not back there. Is it up here? I remember this building. We went here once. Wait, no, this is where the lady is that wants to be left alone, who's ripping all the people out of gold. That's not it. Not sure where this is actually happening. We'll keep you company, Therapy. No, we're lucky to have you. This is the hospital. Right? I thought this was the hospital. Maybe not. Yeah, it's a hospital. Oh crap, it's happening. I couldn't find it.
For the sins of the one.
Okay. Oh crap. Ouch. It's time to get out of here. Go, go, go. Dodge. Duck, dive, dodge, dip. Luckily, we're not too far away. I kind of know where we're at. I just need to make sure we don't get shot. Oh, that was close. Ooh. This So that was the magistrate on the floor right there, right? And he gets killed just as this whole thing ends. Is that right? Ooh, we made it. Okay. Good, good. This is actually the perfect stopping point for this stream. We're at pastime. We just started a brand new setup. We made a lot of progress in this stream. Got some of the main goals done too. Found out a little bit more about where we're at. Some of the backstory, which is super interesting. I don't know that we can ever get out of here. If we're dead, you gotta assume we're dead. But at the very least, we can get us all out of purgatory. Oh, good call, Will. Good catch. You know, I don't know if you can actually die. I think you can. I think you can fail to escape therapy. That hasn't happened to me yet. And then I don't know what actually happens. I don't know if you have to load your most recent save or how that works out. Speaking of save, let's create a new one. There we go. Make sure it has the correct time. Yeah, we're good. Perfect. Such a cool game, though. I am really, really digging this game.